Hey everyone, this is episode 117 of Nerds with Mics. I'm Emily.
I'm Travis.
I'm Justin. Oh, I read the wrong part, Travis. I'm so sorry.
You guys are the worst.
I was...
Wow.
Here, let me just finish.
Just introduce us, please.
This is Dingus 1, Dingus 2. And today we're talking about Gamescom, the new Spider-Man trailer, and so much more. But first, Travis, what were you up to today? Or today, this week, last week?
This is already going so well.
Yes, going so great.
Let me explain myself real quick. I was looking at the order of what we've been up to, and it still says Travis first. But I don't know what I was thinking. I was just looking at that second name. I'm like, oh, that's me. So I apologize.
Well, it's fine.
Oh gosh,
wow.
I'm the worst.
Well, so I have been up to a whole lot of nothing. Actually, I've been hanging out with friends, playing some games. I'd already saw Free Guy last week, so that's old news. I'm actually on the last episode of The Flash to fully catch up, so I'm going to finish that once I get off the podcast. Going to pick up, obviously been watching Ted Lasso, excited for the morning show to come out next month, the second season for that. I'm trying to think of what else I've been up to. Oh, I finished my class.
Nice.
So that's exciting. Yeah. So I got 3 of those down, 4 more to go. So that's been exciting. I rode my bike a little bit since I got my helmet in. I actually have been riding my bike a little bit, which has been fun. Haven't had any near-death experiences yet, so that's good news. And then, I've been playing the legendary Ghost of Tsushima, the new one.
Yeah.
So I've been playing it. I actually didn't really play that much of it when it first originally dropped, but I figured, now that we're getting an optimized for next-gen consoles version, I'd give it a try. And gotta say, not disappointed. That game is pretty awesome, and it's a very, very cinematic game. I've already switched it to black and white and done English subtitles with Japanese audio, and I just feel like I'm watching a movie, and it's pretty dope. So, but that's what I've been up to. What about you, Justin?
Since it's now my turn, I will go. I have been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine still with the wife. We watched a movie over the weekend, well, yesterday, today's Sunday, called Werewolves Within, and gotta say, really enjoyed it. A lot of fun. I've been watching Arrested Development on my own, and I've been playing a lot of Fortnite. I'm not proud to say that out loud, but it is what it is. I've been playing it, and I got Superman now, and I got Morty, and that's my life now. What about you, Emily?
Well, as you guys know, I wasn't here last week. I was not feeling well. I just came off steroids, and from my poison ivy, poison oak situation that I had, and my system is not reacting very well to it. So I've been trying to not die, and not feel like I'm constantly feeling sick to my stomach. So I'm slowly feeling better. I streamed on Thursday, streamed some Borderlands, and was playing the Loot the Universe event. I missed the week that I really wanted to play Loot the Universe. It was on Promethea, because it was a really good week to farm class comms, and I've been looking for specific passive roles on this class comm, and to no avail. I've not gotten it. So, but yeah, no, I've been trying to catch up on all the TV. So American Horror Story just came back out with their new season 10, I think. So I watched that. Ted Lasso. Caught up on is there a 3rd episode of What If out? If there is, I haven't seen it. But I watched the first 2 episodes of What If, and that's about it. Just been like I said, my sleep schedule's been all out of whack though, so I've been waking up super early in the morning, and then I've just had nothing to do while I'm awake, and just been watching random shows on Netflix and stuff. So, but other than that, yeah, that's about it.
I need to watch What If. I haven't watched any of the episodes yet. So I think that's one of them. Yeah, are you liking it so far?
Yes. Yeah. The
Yeah.
first episode was amazing. I think it was the best episode to start off that series with. Because I mean, it legitimately just like it fits. It fits so well because everyone loves Agent Carter, like loves her as a character, and probably wanted to see more of her, in the movies and maybe more interaction with her in the movies. But of course, like she, it was most of all the newer movies are based, in real time and not in the past. So we did get Agent Carter, but that didn't.
Yeah.
I don't think that really did well. But no, that first episode is absolutely amazing. So, and then the second episode was really good too. So I'm excited for the third one.
Is the second one which one is the second one? I think I started that one but didn't finish it.
Star-Lord is actually Black Panther.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the third one? What's the premise behind that one?
I don't know what the third one is yet because I haven't been on there to watch it. It's okay. But yeah, the first one is what if Peggy Carter was actually,
Captain America.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Captain
I really
Carter.
enjoyed that first episode.
Yeah, it was Captain Carter. And then what if Black Panther was actually Star-Lord? And that one had huge ramifications on that specific timeline. Like huge. Like when you first see this one character in that episode and you're like, oh crap. But then you realize that it's they're a completely different person. You're just like, oh, okay. So yeah, you need to watch What If. It's really good.
I need to get caught up on that. I think yesterday was actually. What's that?
I said I'll probably do that this evening after I finish this last episode of The Flash. That's a good call. Thank you, Emily.
Yeah. I think yesterday was the 1 year anniversary of the passing of Chadwick Boseman too, which is really sad.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into some news. How about that, guys? So we've had a lot of gaming news here recently, and that's probably because a little event's happening called Gamescom. And there was a lot of announcements there. We're just going to kind of touch on some of the highlights of Gamescom. I don't know if you all see. Oh no!
He's a troll. He's a troll. It's fine.
Do I need to kick him from the chat?
No, he's a good troll. He's a
good troll.
A good troll. Okay.
He's a good troll. He's got the kappa in there, so it's fine.
You got to pay the troll toll.
The troll toll. But we got news this week from Gamescom that Saints Row is actually getting a reboot, and surprisingly, it's actually going to be out relatively soon. I think we got a leak on their website, and then shortly after that came a trailer. But yeah, coming out February 25th of 2022, which is pretty exciting. I think we're setting up the fall to have this trilogy of Grand Theft Auto games come out, and then I think November 11th we're getting GTA 5 enhanced edition, expanded and enhanced edition for next gen consoles. And then once we get into February, we're going to have Saints Row, because who knows when Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to get here. So between those three games, it should hold us over until we get a Grand Theft Auto 6. Did any of you get the chance? Now, Justin, I know you didn't get a chance to watch the gameplay trailer, but did you get a chance to watch the actual trailer for the game?
I watched the trailer, and then I watched that quick 10-second snippet of gameplay that they showed after the trailer.
Yeah.
And I like the setting. It has kind of like a Las Vegas vibe just based on the little bit that we saw. It looks like there's, the desert area and then like a much more populated city nearby. Those kind of gave me some Las Vegas vibes, which I think is a good setting for any good crime game. I am a little disappointed just in so this is just where I'm going to be picky, I guess. I know that GTA is the serious one, even though it's completely full of satire and jokes and everything. And Saints Row has always been the extra goofy one, but I was still kind of hoping it would have scaled back a little bit more to Saints Row 2, because Saints Row 3 and 4 got pretty goofy. Superheroes, aliens, vampires, space. I mean, it just got real weird real fast. And I was kind of hoping they would dial it back a little bit more. And it was fine. There was none of the absolute zaniness. The LED helmet was kind of whatever. The weapons were just kind of okay. But I mean, I'm judging all this on a 2-minute trailer. and not a 40-hour game. Justin Zwerner wants to know, is Saints Row open world? The past 4 titles have been. I assume this one will be. They didn't say anything to imply that it won't be. They're fun games. I mean, they're really fun. 3 got a remaster recently. I would definitely probably check that one out before I go into 4. I wasn't a fan of 4. Were you?
No, I was not. 3 was probably one of my favorite ones. So I would kind of, if you haven't played the franchise and you want to play, get into it before playing the new one, I would definitely start at 3, and then maybe just wait till the reboot comes out. But yeah, and I think the big thing is too with these games though is like the big thing it's that they really focus on are the factions in this game. Yeah. You have different factions. One embraces technology, one's more muscle. And then I think there's like 3 or 4 different gangs, but that's where you get kind of the craziness from, because I think they try to go to the extreme to kind of like differentiate the different gangs from one another. And that in itself is where you get like the LED helmets and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
did they say if, like, I know this is a reboot, but like, do the Saints in Stillwater still exist? Like, did everything that happened in those games exist in this world? Have they said that?
They haven't really said, but I know that all the main characters. So for those of you that don't know, I think on the 27th, which was 2 days ago, they actually released an 8-minute video of them actually, the developers talking about the game, why they chose to reboot the game. But then they also did introductions of the new characters that will be in the game, and then also displayed each faction, explained the environment, all that type of stuff, why they chose to go that direction. But I think this is a whole new cast, all new characters. I'm not sure if they'll allude to the other members of Saints Row or whatever it may be. But I know that I think they talked about like the whole reason that they won't even want to start like a gang is it's a bunch of young kids trying to pay off student debt. I think is what I remember here, which I thought was kind of funny, but which I hope
sign me up.
Which I think is funny, but then it obviously turns into something completely different based on probably how it goes. But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. But it definitely looks interesting. I'm excited to play it just because it's something new to play and something that's been designed for next gen instead of getting all these, enhanced editions of things that we've already played. So, so yeah, you have that. But so now, Emily, I know that you don't play a whole lot of Grand Theft Auto and Saints Row. However, do you play Halo?
Yes. Played Halo in the past. I think the last Halo that I really thoroughly enjoyed was probably Reach was really good. I enjoyed it, Halo Reach. 4 kind of got a little just like away from its roots, I thought, and then 5 I wasn't a fan of 5.
Right.
But Reach, I think Reach was probably the last one that I thoroughly enjoyed, PvP wise and all that stuff. So story wise, so
well, it's been a long time since I played Halo. I went back and I played 5 and once the Master Chief Collection dropped, because I hadn't played 5, and it was pretty good. But yeah, I'm like you, like Reach is kind of my jam. But Halo Infinite, which is obviously the newest one in the franchise, it comes out December 8th. Now we talked last week that it's going to release with the single player campaign, but it's not going to have Forge available, and it's not going to have co-op campaign available at launch. But they are saying before the end of the holidays, they should have those features added into the game. But yeah, we're going to get it on December 8th. That's one of the announcements we got. I know it's not in the notes, but one of the things that we also seen that Microsoft announced that they're going to have a Xbox, a Halo edition of the Xbox.
Yes,
which is pretty cool. Which will have the theme console and also the themed controller. It looks pretty dope too. But
the Elite controller,
my question is, if it's already impossible to get a regular Xbox now, how much harder is it going to be to get one of these special edition Xboxes?
I mean, maybe they'll just I don't know. I don't know if they already have like a set number that you can pre-order. But hopefully they take into account how many people are wanting to get it, and then hopefully they'll push out some more. But the big thing about the new Halo for me is that, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't the multiplayer free to play now? It's going to be free to play.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that it's free to play now. So
Okay.
It's free to
That'd be
play,
good.
and I also believe that you don't have to buy the battle passes either.
Yeah.
I don't think so,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool. And you can go back and get a previous battle pass at any point in time, unlike where, like Fortnite, like if you pass that time, you can't really go back and get it. You can go back and try to earn a previous battle pass that you missed by doing whatever objectives were set at that time, which is kind of cool.
If I had
That
a
is
time
awesome.
machine, I would go back in time to when Fortnite did the Marvel Battle Pass, and I would get Tony Stark.
Yeah.
I regret not
Yeah.
having.
Yeah, that's-
Justin wants to know any idea when you can get the new systems. So I do know that stock for them drops pretty regularly across all like the big retailers. If you're a GameStop Pro member, I know that they drop they drop stock for Pro members only. I think probably once every week or two. Best Buy seems to be stocking them pretty regularly. Walmart, I think only online though. I suggest finding a stock drop Discord server and turn on notifications. That's what I did to get my 3080, and it paid off.
There's a guy you can follow on Twitter. His name is something Wario.
Wario 64.
Wario 64. If you follow him, literally will tweet out anytime there's stock on anything, when there's deals, sales, tweets out like the GameStop, like adverts and all that stuff. Yeah, super good.
Yeah, and just so you know, it looks like on the Microsoft website, it does look like that specific Xbox, the Series X Halo Edition, is up for pre-order. However, it looks like on Microsoft's website it's sold out, but then it also lists other retailers that you can pre-order through as well. So yeah, that may also already be hard to get a hold of. So
now, if you already have a Series X and you don't really care too much about the console itself, there is a person I follow on Twitter. His name is Pope, and he actually makes custom controllers. His name is Pope Art, POPEART_. And he has some of the most beautiful custom designs for controllers. He did a Needler controller for Halo, and it was beautiful. It was super awesome. So and they're like, this one, it was like half like almost like carbon fiber look, half purple with the Needler like scarring on it, with the like light blue button. It's gorgeous. But he made a Fable one, made a bunch of Outriders ones, made the Needler one. There's a Doom one. But like he teases all kinds of stuff all the time on his Twitter. And if he gets a lot of people that really like enjoy that design, then he'll actually turn it into a full-fledged controller that you can buy off of his website.
That's neat.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So if you just want the controller, there you go.
Yeah, well, that's cool. Good shout out. So moving on. So I've not played the XCOM games. I'm not a huge. I shouldn't say I'm not a huge game because I like some of the strategy-esque games. But they're releasing a game called Marvel Midnight Suns, which is a tactical RPG from the team that made XCOM. Most important question is, can we get a pet doggy?
Can we pet the doggy?
Oh, can we pet the doggy? I don't know.
Learn to read.
You also said I'm not a huge game a second ago.
I mean, I'm not a huge game, but maybe I am.
You're like an indie title.
Yeah. Have you played XCOM, Justin?
No. It gets really good reviews. I just haven't been into them. This game really intrigued me. The trailer did. So, I mean, if I'm going to jump in, if it is that style of game, then I'll definitely probably try it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was curious if this style game is kind of like Divinity, because it's kind of like a top-down, but I don't know if it's like the same play style, I guess. You know what I mean? Where you're like...
We'll see on the first. We'll actually see a gameplay reveal on the first.
Okay.
So,
very cool.
Did it get a release date?
I don't think it has a release date. Or wait, did it have a release date?
I'll look it up.
March
2022.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah. So next year. We'll just call it next year. March is probably just being generous.
Yeah.
But the big thing for me is that like you actually get to play your own character and decide on the powers of that character as the game goes on. You don't actually control any of the Marvel heroes. You interact with them with your character, but you actually are a child of Lilith, which is the main villain of the game.
Oh, okay. So that's interesting. I'll definitely check it out. It sounds intriguing. I'm a little intrigued by it.
Does look good, and 2K. So
yeah, for sure. 2K usually doesn't go wrong, so that should be fairly good. So have you guys played the Lego games at all? Y'all played any of the Lego games?
Yeah, I have the Harry Potter ones.
Yeah, I've played some of them, but not a ton of them. But I know that a lot of people are excited for the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, which basically will have a game for every movie in the saga, which is pretty awesome, which is a lot of content. Now, with that being said, it's been delayed from spring 2021 into spring 2022, so a whole year, which is unfortunate because they dropped a pretty dope trailer. Just to tell you that it was delayed, which is kind of
we knew it was delayed already, but they just now gave it a new release date.
Right? Yeah.
I'm big sad about it.
It looks good for a Lego game. It looks really good, and those games are fun.
I'm excited for the fact that they're actually getting voice actors. And it's not going to be like just gibberish.
Yeah.
It's the worst. That's the worst about that was the one thing that I hated about the Lego games. The older Lego games is like the gibberish and the fact that I couldn't understand what they were saying, and I was just like, why? Like you get such good voice actors to do these voices, and you're missing your mark on that. So I'm happy that they decided to go with the actual voice actors.
Oh yeah, for sure. And one game I'm really excited about that they have the original one they've released about 27 different times is Dying Light 2. The first one they've continued to support that game, continued to add content to it, release constantly different versions of it that has more stuff included. But Dying Light 2, it was shown at the Xbox show. I'm excited for this game to come out. I think it comes out in, it's either, I want to say, is it December 8th, I think?
It's like the day of or the day before Halo, I think.
Yeah. It's like it's literally on the same day, I think, as Halo, which I thought was kind of crazy. But do we think it'll come to Game Pass?
I think it's weird that it was shown at the Xbox conference and not the event with every publisher.
Right.
That's kind of weird. I feel like. I mean, I know sometimes that happens. Like developers will show their game at a console specific show just because they can, but I don't know. It just kind of felt out of place with the rest of the stuff that Xbox showed. So I kind of feel like there could be a Game Pass announcement imminent, or maybe just down the road, maybe a couple months after release. It could be. I don't know. Looks good though.
It does look good, and some of the gameplay mechanics about how you're, building a city and every decision you make in the game affects the city, stuff like that, which is kind of interesting. Now, Justin, you've played with xCloud, right? You have some experience using it. Did they release any news around that?
They did. So xCloud will be coming to the Xbox Series S and X and Xbox One this holiday. And if you're thinking, why would I want to play a game like that instead of just downloading it? Well, one, if you are low on storage space, but also if you are on the Xbox One, you can run games designed for Xbox Series S and X through xCloud. Now, you're not going to be downloading them. You're going to be streaming them, but it still gives you a chance to try games out like The Medium. And that's the only next-gen game I can think of, but it gives you a chance to try out any next-gen titles on your older hardware if that's what you still run with. I used it a couple times on my phone. I have the Backbone device, and it works pretty well. Don't think I would use it for any any game that requires a fast response. I want to say, oh gosh, I probably wouldn't play Halo with it unless I was right by my router. But I mean, it works pretty well.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't had much experience with it. I've used Remote Play on the PlayStation, but I haven't really messed much with xCloud.
Yeah.
So, all right. Did you play Death Stranding, either of you?
Oh, yeah.
I never did, but I have the baby over here.
Oh, baby.
Oh no! I actually did not play that game. I heard that it was more of like a walking simulator. I don't really know,
That's
but
good.
but I will check it out. There is so basically they're doing a Death Stranding director's cut coming on September 24th with new features and missions. Now, is this also going to be? Did they ever release an update or anything for next gen or?
This will include the next gen update. If you already own the game, it's just a $10 upgrade, which is a little bit more generous than what Ghost of Tsushima did.
Yeah.
So yeah, $10 to upgrade and get all those new features.
Okay, very cool. And there's some news around Norman Reedus, right, Justin?
Yes, Norman Reedus, who stars as the main character in Death Stranding. He kind of accidentally announced that Death Stranding 2 might be happening. He, in an interview with Adorno Cinema, which is a publication that's spun off of IGN Brazil, he said, and this is a quote, "I think we're doing a second Death Stranding. Death Stranding 2 is in negotiations right now, so yay," which is an interesting way to end that quote, but that's what he said. And this isn't the first time we've heard of a possible Death Stranding sequel, although if you finish the game, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but who cares? Kojima actually teased a sequel last year. So it's something I think the two of them have been kind of thinking about probably since the first one was in development, I would say, about how they can keep this going, because it is a very interesting world. It's weird. It's a really weird game, and I think that's why the review scores are all over the place, because you either love it or hate it. I fortunately really enjoyed it. But yeah, I think getting a second one would be cool. I actually think it'd be neat to, without spoiling the story of the first one, to kind of have the second one be multiplayer focused.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I definitely need to check it out. I've heard it's really good, and I've heard more positive things than I've heard negative things. I just heard that you have to be kind of open-minded to a really weird story.
It can be it's super weird. Yeah. And it's like very frustrating too, because you are
like 30-minute cutscenes, right?
Yeah, there's some long cutscenes, but okay, so like basically you're like a glorified like delivery driver, and you're trekking across the literal United States with all of this stuff, and then it's just so weird. If I try to explain it, I'm gonna sound dumb. It's like trying to explain the 5th season of Lost, but some crazy stuff can happen, and can just like wreck your whole day.
Yeah. But, well, like the bodies that, because like the bodies that of people who die, they have a time limit on them, right? Yeah, so like you have to get them to like wherever they need to go, or else they will blow up and you'll die.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like you don't even have a weapon in the game really until
you just run around.
Until really late. You do get one, but it's like really late.
Yeah, that's crazy. But most of his games, Kojima, have really good gameplay mechanics, but also like the story is always really intriguing and really interesting too. And he's known for having super long cutscenes as well.
Yeah, so. I bet if he like underwent like a psych evaluation, I wonder what they would say.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's some messed up stuff in that man's head.
Yeah, was he the one that was responsible for the PT teaser? Did he do that?
Yeah, I think that was him.
Yeah, because I mean Norman Reedus was in that.
Yep.
When you get out of the house,
character. Yeah, he was the character you were actually playing.
Guillermo del Toro was also behind that, and he's also in Death Stranding.
Yeah. It's oh my god, it's all coming full circle.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so let's get into some movie news. So we got a Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. Now we got it. The first one that dropped was like this one that didn't have like the animations done. It was like a recording of somebody else's cell phone with like clearly an employee. Yeah, and clearly it has like an employee's name on it. So I'm sure whoever that was is probably fired. But
he's dead.
And then
they killed him.
He's dead.
Yeah. He's in Disney's vault somewhere. But
oh god.
But anyways, and then obviously after that trailer was leaked, there was then an official trailer a few days after that that we got to see, and I just want to take a minute. I'll go last, but I want to hear what your all's thoughts are around around the trailer. What are your reactions? What are some of your all? My cat keeps trying to walk in front of my camera. I'm gonna fight her. Okay, just go. What's Oh, there's a cat butt.
That was perfect.
She knew exactly what she was doing.
Yeah.
Anyways, you just sit there. What's your all's reactions? What's your all's predictions? What are some things that you'd like to see?
Real quick, Ben says that No Way Home is about to blow the multiverse up, which definitely. I think it will. Emily, do you want to go first?
Sure. I'm thoroughly excited. I like the multiverse stuff. I loved the end of Loki. I love the ramifications. I love having all these different timelines. I think it's awesome. And the fact that, we're going to see, I mean, it's not been super, or has it been like super hardcore confirmed that we are getting Willem Dafoe and Jamie Foxx. I know we're getting the same dude that I can't remember his name. The play
Jamie
Doc
Foxx
Ock.
Jamie Foxx has been confirmed.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe I don't think has been confirmed, but I mean the trailer kind of heavily implies
that laugh. So I really enjoyed. I enjoy Willem Dafoe's movies in general. So I think like he'll just make the movie. I'm excited. I hope the villains have like a much larger part than just like showing up once and then getting thrown back into the multiverse or something like that. I hope there's And then I hope we do see the other Spider-Mans too. I hope we see Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, and I honestly hope we also see a Spider-Gwen show up for the first time. I think that would be really cool. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I love the whole like the whole exchange between his name Wong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wong and Strange, where he's like, hey, don't do that. And Strange was like, okay. And then he just winks at Peter, and I'm just like, oh great, this is gonna turn out bad. So it's that whole exchange was super interesting because like if he could see what's gonna happen, like I wonder if he only saw up until like the Thanos snap and then the Thanos unsnap. Like I wonder if he only saw up until that point or if he saw past that into what he's doing now, and then what he's doing now he had to do for that's what I'm curious about with Doctor Strange being in it. So
yeah. Well, the very next movie that comes out after Spider-Man is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and that is directed by Sam Raimi, who did the original Spider-Man trilogy. So I don't think it's unrealistic to think that we could see these, like at least Maguire's character pop in. Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed the trailer. It's definitely going to be chaotic. I am afraid that I personally of course I would love to see. Oh, hang on, we got another comment. Ben says, "Are there other villains aside from Green Goblin, Doc Ock, and Jamie Foxx's character?"
Yeah, there's there's talks about maybe the Lizard being in it, right?
Yeah, and Sandman.
Yeah,
and there could be a totally different one that we don't even know about yet. Kang may show up.
Yeah, that's true. Go ahead, Justin. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Not gonna lie, I forgot what I was saying, but that's fine. I'll just talk until I think about it.
You were talking about Sam Raimi and how we might not be surprised if.
Oh no, I know where I was going. Yeah, I know that I will be okay if they're not in it, but I think the internet will really view this film poorly if Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are not in it, because they've basically been told that they are, but they haven't really been told by any official source. And I myself, I'm I mean, the evidence kind of implies that they will be, but there still hasn't been an official confirmation. So I am prepared to also be let down in that regard. And I think some people, if it doesn't happen, will be really let down.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I hope somehow they find a way to fit Scarlet Witch into it as well. I know she's going to be in the Doctor Strange movie, but I'm ready for this whole thing to just blow up. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Some of the things that I found interesting was Doctor Strange seemed to be acting real strange, because I don't know about you guys, but when Peter first finds him, he's inside of obviously his manor, but there's like snow and he's wearing like a winter jacket, and just like that whole situation is just really strange to me. So that's weird. Also, one of the things that I was reading that somebody pointed out was there's a scene where Peter is on the bridge, and he's in a suit, and that's the same suit from one of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. And I guess, yes, and supposedly Marvel has acquired one of the guys that's really good at doing deep fake stuff. So like, making a person look like somebody they're actually not. And they actually hired this guy. So when we're watching this trailer, we could be watching things that aren't actually the way that it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it could be that, that was actual Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker on the bridge. We don't know. You know what I mean?
Of course. Justin Zwerner says, anyone else worried about having too many characters in it? I actually am worried about that. I know that like Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, they had a lot of characters, and I feel like they managed their time very well. But with this, the potentially characters we haven't seen in over a decade, with Tobey Maguire and Willem Dafoe specifically, if they are both in it. I really, my dream scenario is this movie will end on a cliffhanger, and like Doctor Strange will almost be like a direct sequel, and like pick up like almost like Infinity War Endgame, just kind of pick up where it left off, even with like the same group of people. Like if Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in this, I want him to be in that as well. That's just kind of what I want. I don't know. What do you all think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I have this concern that, and I won't be mad at it, that the other Spider-Man it's either gonna be one of two scenarios. I think one, they're gonna be in it as just a cameo, or two, it's gonna be one of those things where you don't see them throughout the entire movie, but things start to go really sideways towards the end, and then they kind of all come together out of nowhere type situation. You know what I mean? But when I think about that question that Justin asked around, worried about having too many characters, I'm instantly reminded of Spider-Man 3, right? Where we had tons of villains, and then we had just tons of characters and tons of things going on. And they were very, very ambitious. And I think it made that movie, that was one of the biggest reasons that movie didn't do well, is because they tried to do too much at once. But on the same side of that, if this was Sony doing this movie by themselves without having any kind of influence around, like from, Marvel or Kevin Feige, or, I would be more concerned about it. But the fact that, we have people involved that's been involved in projects like the Avengers and things like that, I'm less concerned about it, because I feel like they know how to, juggle all of this going on. And I think it's kind of hard not to, when you're dealing with the multiverse, to have a lot of characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like it's really hard to not. But I'm excited to see what happens, and I'm really excited by the fact that we get it in Christmas and we don't have to wait till next year.
Yeah.
So
I am okay with there being like lots of characters. Obviously, like having them like right off at the start like would be a little bit much, but like about midway through the movie, them starting to come over and cause mayhem and all that stuff, I would not like it. I would not want it to be like them just come in right at the end and then that's it. Like I would hate for it to be built up that much, because with the trailer and everything, like for them to build up, all these people are coming back, and then we only get them for 5 minutes because it's literally the end of the movie, and it's like, oh, what now? So I as long as they're in the movie enough, I'll be fine. Like to get a good,
Yeah, I think if people were expecting it to be to the degree of Into the Spider-Verse, as far as having other Spider-Man people in it, I think they're probably going to be disappointed. Because I don't think it'll be that involved where you're going to have like cartoon Spider-Man in it and all sorts of stuff. But I definitely think it would be really cool to actually see the other, like all three Spider-Mans that we're used to seeing, have a decent amount of screen time together. I think I'd be more excited. I think I'd be more excited for that than 17 villains in the movie, honestly.
Right. Yeah.
Well, do you think anything's ever going to come out of Spider-Man: Homecoming? I mean, at the end with Michael Keaton, the Vulture's character, Shocker. I forgot the character's name, but Donald Glover's character. He's Aaron, Uncle Aaron for Miles Morales.
Is it
I
Moon
mean,
Knight? No,
no, gosh, I can't remember his name now. But like, you think that'll ever could turn into anything? I mean, they kind of set it up. They kind of implied in that post-credit scene, like, oh, something sinister's brewing, and then like nothing happened.
Yeah, I thought they were definitely working towards the Sinister Six, and I don't know if maybe like that was when, because was Marvel super involved with that Spider-Man?
You know, that was before the Sony fallout, I think, and then the deal.
Yeah, and it makes
and now
me
we're
wonder
getting
if they
that
can.
one movie.
Yeah,
we got Venom and something else, Morbius, I think.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder if they completely just changed directions from what they were building upon. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Is Michael Keaton's Vulture supposed to be in this movie?
I mean, nothing's been said, I don't think, but if he did, I think that would be a welcome addition. He's fantastic.
I will tell you this, that I know that I don't think either one of you ever went and saw Free Guy, but
no,
if they can do as good of a job of hiding people that you don't realize are going to be in the movie, like, it could be anybody at this point, you know what I mean? Because that movie had so many cameos that I don't think anybody knew about until they went to watch the movie. And they could be doing a good job of just keeping it completely hush hush until the movie actually comes out and people see it for themselves. So I don't know, but I will say this: Tom Holland specifically said that this is the most ambitious Marvel movie to date. Now think about that statement. I mean, think about how ambitious Infinity War was, Endgame, all these other movies that we got that were like grand scale things. And he's saying that this one is the most ambitious. So to me, that tells me that we're in for a treat and we're in for a ride. So yeah.
I wonder if this takes place before, during, or after Loki. Like the instance of like Loki, and then with that, because it obviously seems like this is something that Doctor Strange did and caused.
Well, so. I wonder if he. It makes me wonder if maybe the reason that Doctor Strange's spell didn't go well is because of what happened in Loki, and maybe he just doesn't realize it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, which you would think like he would
sense it,
like, especially with like the eye, like he would sense something. Like yeah, I don't know. Like that's why I'm just like wondering like what time frame it is. Like if it's if it's during or after or before. So or if he knows about it and he goes, well, can't really mess this up anymore. So here we go. And I wonder where Wong's going. Is he just going on vacation?
I don't know.
Did he have a suitcase? I think he had a suitcase, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a suitcase. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's funny though.
Yeah.
But so Justin, you have anything else to add?
I do not.
Okay. Now, Emily, I'm going to let you talk about this next story because you're a huge Gearbox and Borderlands fan. There's some pretty cool news.
Yes. So Gearbox has opened a new studio in Montreal. Montreal. So they pretty much have taken the two lead designers from Gearbox Quebec, Sebastian Case and Pierre-Andre Derry, if that's how you say their names, I don't know. And so they will lead the new studio. It will be made up of about 250 staff members. They, like I said, they previously worked at Gearbox Quebec, and the new studio will focus. The main focus will be on the Borderlands franchise and a currently unknown new IP.
Star Wars.
They don't tell me these things. I know I stream Borderlands, but I'm not in on the
Ask
news.
them for me, okay?
Yeah, I will.
Break the news on next week's show, okay?
Yeah. Okay. So pretty much if you guys remember, Gearbox was bought by a larger conglomerate or company a little while back, and this was allowing them to do these things, like take on new IPs, obviously make new studios and stuff like that. So now we have Gearbox Quebec, Gearbox Montreal, and then of course our Gearbox studio in Texas. But that's really all we know about it so far. But they're wanting it to be the talent within in that area. So they're wanting to find talent within that area and not necessarily like move people out there from their current studios. They just want the two guys from Gearbox Quebec to lead it, and hopefully some good stuff will come out of it. So, and then another thing, 2K just announced their Next Makers program. So if you've seen on Twitter or anything like that, they just announced the 2K Next Makers, and what it essentially is if you remember, they did the Borderlands stream team and then the content creation team for Borderlands and 2K. Well, this is essentially that, but much, much larger, and it entitles all of 2K games. So Borderlands, XCOM, BioShock, Mafia, NBA, all the sports games, WWE, all that stuff. And so the Next Makers is essentially just a hand-in-hand relationship with content creators and 2K themselves. So it's something, another thing that is going on within that, like, family and community. So something else that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that is cool. I would love to see them get into which I guess Borderlands can technically be like a single player. I mean, it could be a single player game, but I would like them to do something on the scale of like a Fallout style game where it's like very heavily based single player game with like maybe some town building elements and just like a grand scale of a game. But
huge story.
Yeah,
they do story really well. So.
Because honestly, like if I wouldn't have known that, because who makes Outer World? I think it's like it's definitely not 2K, but like they made Outer World, and I played it, and I was like, I feel like this would be what Fallout would be if 2K made it, because that's kind of the vibe that it has. It's kind of like Borderlands. Yeah, it's like a Borderlands look style game, but it plays like Fallout, and I was just like, this is. I don't know if you ever had a chance to play it, but it was really good.
Yeah, Outer Worlds was great, and I think it was the same people who made Fallout New Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the last bit of news that we got, did Justin? Do you have anything else to add about that? Nope. No, he's frozen. No, okay.
Oh, I am frozen.
Yeah,
you were for a second. You were for a second. I just thought you were ignoring me, and then I realized.
No, I shook my head no at the time I was frozen. I didn't know that. My bad.
Oh yeah. So for those of you that may not have secured a PS5 yet, you may be in for some disappointing news. So new PS5 models have been released. Cosmetically, they look identical, but they are a little lighter. And the reason they're a little lighter is because Sony has opted to go with a smaller heatsink. And because of this, it has raised some concerns around possible heating issues, which is something that the PS3 was notorious for having. And I think even the PS4 when it first came out. So there has been a couple of videos of them actually doing teardowns of the units and comparing the size. And I'd say the new heatsink, if you look at the picture, it's about 25% smaller. I mean, it's a substantial difference in my opinion. But the only advantage is it allows the console to be lighter. I'm also sure that it probably is less cost to produce to Sony. But like I said, it has raised some concern around if there's a possible heating issues with that, because there's less obviously of a heat sink on it. Justin, did you ever get into the beta? I meant to ask you, did you ever get into the beta to be able to install your M.2?
Still waiting patiently.
Yeah,
hopefully soon.
But yeah, so those of you that are on the hunt for a PlayStation, you may want to find one relatively soon, or you may want to buy one secondhand if you're concerned about it. I mean, just something to keep in mind. I don't think it'll end up being an issue, but just something I saw and I thought was kind of interesting. It's a very classic Sony move.
Yeah, Kotaku did a thermal camera, and it was about 3 to 5 degrees Celsius hotter than the original model.
which is, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, isn't a ton. However, with that being said, I think it's also going to depend on where your PlayStation is stored. Like if you have a cabinet where it doesn't have a lot of room to breathe, I imagine the difference might be even greater than that 3 to 5, degree. But just something to think about. I hate that, but it is what it is. I'm sure by this time next year, there'll be a new PlayStation out that looks completely different anyways. You know what I mean? We'll get a PS5 Pro or something stupid. So, but anyways,
I'll just wait till it's all figured out, and
there you go.
Yeah, and they're plentiful.
Yeah,
and they're cheap.
Maybe we'll get. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we'll get a Borderlands edition, but that won't happen because they don't play nicely with others. So
No, yeah.
But does anybody have anything else to add before we get into everyone's favorite time of the show?
No.
Yeah, me neither. All right. Well, it's time for pick of the week.
Pick of the week.
I tried to fake you all out again. Well, I faked Justin out I think it was last week.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, he thought I was gonna sing it, and I just let him do it all on his own. It was great. But anyways, Emily, we'll start with you. I hope you're ready.
So I mentioned earlier the American Horror Story has come back with their new season, and you can get the first 2 episodes on Hulu. If you have Hulu, it's next day on Hulu, and this one's really good. This one's probably has already become one of my favorite seasons, and there's only 2 episodes. It's very good. What is that? Why you have? Oh my God, Baby Yoda. I mean, I got a frog. The flower.
Yes. What do you got, Justin?
Ink pen.
Oh wow.
A red hat.
Well, you should burn that.
I got an otter. Thank you. Anyways, so that's I'm very excited for that season because it's already kind of been a very WTF moments in the show, and they haven't really screwed around. They've pretty much already just I don't know, I'm excited for the next episode because they left episode 2 kind of on the crazy moment. So if you haven't, I was actually starting to rewatch American Horror Story, but if you guys don't know, each season is its own theme. And some of the older seasons do tie into the newer seasons and stuff like that. But I think they did a American Horror Story Apocalypse one season, and the Coven season tied into the Apocalypse season, which was really cool. So I'm excited if they're going to tie any other seasons into it and all that. So fingers crossed it gets even better. But I'd highly recommend giving the first 2 episodes a watch, even if you've not watched any of the other seasons. You don't need to watch this one. And they also came out with American Horror Stories, and all those episodes are available on Hulu, and it's also really good. So that's my pick of the week. Who's next? Right.
Justin's
Oh
next.
My gosh. So I don't think either of you are going to care about this. But if you do, that's cool. So I really like fantasy sports. I might even be an addict. And fantasy football, it's now the time for it. And we just moved all of our leagues over to a different platform. Travis is getting up. He's like, I don't even care about this.
He's like,
screw
leaving.
Football. No. We moved our football league over to a platform called Sleeper, which is it's just like any other fantasy site like ESPN or Yahoo, but it's really mobile based. And I gotta tell you, that app and that whole platform is just light years ahead of ESPN and Yahoo. I love it. I want to do all of my fantasy sports through there now, and that's definitely my pick of the week because I've used it so much in the last 2 weeks to do drafts and stuff. I've had a lot of time spent with it, and I really highly recommend it. So if any of you play fantasy sports, highly recommend the Sleeper app.
It's called Sleeper?
Sleeper.
Okay. All right. I have to check it out.
You play fantasy sports, Travis?
No, but there's a lot of people at work that play, and
Yeah.
actually, Jared, he is in a league, and he was just he wasn't really complaining, but he was having a hard time, like even signing into his app, and just didn't seem like a good experience. So I'll make sure to recommend it to him. That's why I was asking about it.
If he watches the
could care
show, I
less,
just
but
recommended it to him already.
yeah, he's not
He
watching.
should be watching.
He hates you.
No, he doesn't.
hates you.
He might. I
Yeah.
don't know. I got his name wrong once.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's right. So I'm trying to think of what my pick of the week is. Oh, I know what it is. So, so obviously I've been binge watching The Flash, but I also started watching a new show that I had originally watched some YouTube clips of, and I thought it was just something on YouTube, but then I found out it was a full-fledged show, and it's a show called Letterkenny.
Oh yes, I love Letterkenny.
Which I had never seen it, but people had showed me these funny clips of just these three guys on YouTube, and I was just like, "What is this? This is so strange." And then I found out it was a full-on show, and I've been watching it, and it's pretty hilarious. So
it started as a YouTube, I'm pretty
Did
sure,
it?
as
Okay.
like just a YouTube show, and then they got the whole green light to do an actual show. But no, it's so good. I got Jesse on it. It's so good.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure it's like 9 seasons or something stupid. Like there's a lot of it. But anyways.
There is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my pick of the week. I was struggling because there was a few things that I had, but I think I'm going to settle on that one for now, and then I'll just keep the other ones in my back pocket in case I don't have anything for next week.
Yeah. What season did you get to on Letterkenny?
I think I'm on season 2 right now because I just started it. But
it gets so much better. It gets so much better.
In 2 weeks, I'm going to be at the Cincinnati Comic-Con, so I'm pretty excited for that. And in Cincinnati on the same weekend, there's also Oktoberfest. So in September, which is strange. I don't know why there's Oktoberfest in September. It doesn't make any sense, but yeah. So other than that, that is my pick of the week. Does anybody have anything? Emily, do you have anything you want to plug? Oh, I know I was going to say before I ask you, because I said it last week, but since you're here physically in person, I wanted to thank you for recommending especially since you didn't listen to the episode last week. I want to thank you for recommending Opera's gaming browser because it's amazing. It's changed my life.
Right.
And I was pleasantly surprised that they actually make it's available on iPad. You can it's literally the same thing.
Available on Android too.
Yeah. I have it now on my phone, on my iPad, on my Mac, my gaming desktop, and it just syncs all my stuff across. It's beautiful. I just love it. So I want to thank you for that. Yeah. Do you have anything that you want to plug, Emily, before we go?
I've not been streaming for like the last week because I've not felt well. Hopefully my stream is anybody that's watching that's been trying to catch me streaming. I've not been streaming. I streamed on Thursday and I took last night off because I literally slept all day. I don't know what happened. I literally just stayed in bed. I hopefully starting tomorrow we'll be back into the swing of things. Doing some Borderlands, hopefully doing some Destiny here soon because the new DLC is going to be coming out here at the beginning of the new year and the new season's up and running. So there's so much stuff. I plan on doing a new playthrough of Borderlands 2 on stream, all that fun stuff. So if you want to watch all the Borderlands things, you can come to my channel, Mystique Siren, twitch.tv/Mystique Siren. So other than that, that's it. Yeah. Download Opera GX browser.
Yeah. Also, I have something I need to admit. I have never beat Borderlands 2, and I'm sorry. I know.
It was ridiculous.
I'm the worst.
Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, P left. Did you kick him?
I kicked him out.
Yeah.
I got to the part where the city floats up in the sky, and that's as far as I made it. I don't know how far that is, but yeah.
That's about. You still actually got quite a bit.
Okay, so if you're ever looking for a scrub to join you in a campaign, if you're replaying, just holler at your boy.
Yep. So. I'm game to. I replay that. I will replay that game all the time. I don't even care. I mainly play. Do you have it on PC?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
So,
because you need to
but,
get through the main campaign, and you need to play the DLCs because it has some of the best DLCs. Tiny
Okay.
Tina's DLC, and then has a pirate DLC that's amazing as well. So
yeah,
don't be a
arc.
scrub. Finish it.
Okay. 101 Scrubs. Want to thank Justin for all the comments, and Ben, and also that troll that called Emily a fake nerd. Want to thank you all for your comments. But yeah, Justin, you rock as well. So thank you for joining us. So, well, does anybody have anything else before we go out?
Nothing.
Nope.
All right. Well,
Nada.
as always, thank you for listening. If you have any feedback for us, feel free to reach out to us on any of our social medias, or feel free to join chat and tell us we suck. Whatever it takes. So that's all we have. Emily, sing us out.
What? Wait. What do you mean sing us out? I don't know what you're talking about.
I just wanted to catch you off guard. That's all we have.